Hi everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is DEB Talks and I'd like to introduce you to our exciting new segment where we will explore a variety of topics, including interviewing change makers that influence and improve aged care, retirement and disability environments for all. I'd also like to hear from you. Let me know what you'd like to know more about and I'll do my very best to bring you the latest cutting edge information. So our theme this month is engagement, and I'd like to talk about how do you design environments that stimulate engagement. Now this can be achieved in so many different ways, but from an architectural and interior design point of view, it's not just about building or decorating spaces that look nice, but they need to be spaces that people actually use. In my opinion, a room without a purpose really is just an empty room. So my three main tips for creating engaging spaces are: firstly, purpose. Don't just design nice looking rooms. Aesthetics aside, the spaces or rooms need to be usable or clearly indicate a purpose. I think we've all been into facilities where the lounge and sitting rooms look really quite beautiful. They're decorated gorgeously, but they're just another place to sit. And sitting is what residents do a lot of. What could they be doing in that room? Can they be listening to music with no TV in sight? Is there a lovely table in the corner of the room where they can be looking out at a beautiful vista or enjoying the sunshine coming in, or, working on a jigsaw? Can they participate in household tasks? Boil the kettle, make a cup of tea? How can the rooms be set up to attract a resident to want to use that space? Secondly is team. You can't do it alone. Who are the team behind the decision making, and does it include the people who will be living there? Also, if you want the community to come, what do they want? What are their expectations? What will make them visit? For example, are there spaces that families can come and enjoy all together? Engaging with the people who are living or visiting is really an important part of the design process. And finally, life elements. Try to design with yourself in mind. What do I mean by that? Well, how do you normally feel in your days? What does your day look like? For most of us, our days are filled with purpose, and the need to have a life with purpose doesn't end just because we move into an aged care facility. So what does our week look like? Well, I can certainly tell you that my week, normally Monday to Friday and sometimes on weekends, is busy with work. And weekends, we catch up with friends or family and attend social events. But we also do the boring stuff, such as clean the house, tidy the garden, cook. And for me, I like to do a bit of decorating. So it's important in the very early stages of any project to make sure that we design spaces that allow opportunities for our residents to participate in everyday life as much as they can, especially for our more ambulant residents in memory support units. So here at DEB, we have identified 8 life elements that we regularly come across in our work across Australia that spans both indoors and outdoors. Now, I'm going to show you 8 of them, and they're not ranked in order of importance, as we know that they will vary from time to time in order of importance and place to place, depending on what is happening in our lives. And they also do change as we age. So number 1 is our family life. Now that's pretty important to most of us. So how can we encourage family, pets, culture, and all the activities associated with these? Celebrations, food or dance, babysitting, teaching language and traditions. It's really heartening to see that some aged care facilities are now introducing daycare centres. And I think we've all seen that wonderful program on the ABC where it's the kindergarten with the elderly, which is a fabulous show, and definitely you can see how that has had amazing positive impact on the elderly and also the children. Number 2 is our domestic life. Cooking, which I adore to do. Cleaning, which I don't adore to do. Doing the laundry, gardening. They're all typically things that we associate with our domestic life. Now, you might not be able to, for instance, be able to cook anymore, but it could be reading a recipe, or it could be just talking about recipes that you used to cook. What was your favourite food? And being involved in the whole cooking process. Number 3 is our artistic life. So examples of that include things like painting, crafts, hobbies, sculpturing, playing musical instruments. And of course, once again, if you can't do those things anymore, maybe you used to play the piano. So it would be wonderful to sit in a room and listen to some beautiful piano. Number 4 is our cognitive life. Examples of this are reading, jigsaws, crosswords, games, or problem-solving tasks such as interactive technology. And the wonderful thing is that there is so many more interactive technology programs and things available now that can be introduced into aged care. Number 5 is our personal life. And that can be spiritual or religious engagement, but it can be things like pampering, having a facial, where you receive touch, having your hair done, meditation or activities which nurture the spirit and the soul. Our physical life, sport, exercise, outdoor games, physio, tai chi, they're all physical activities we include in this life element because generally speaking, since we were children, we were involved in some type of physical life. So it may be that obviously you can't do sports anymore, but incorporating things like a basketball ring in a family area means that somebody who played basketball can be talking to kids about basketball or watching and just enjoying it. Number 7 is social life. Now here we refer to social outings with people, group gatherings and bus trips. Now a lot of aged care facilities do that really well now anyway. But things like coffee or meals away from the home, so somewhere within the facility that they can go that isn't within where they live, that they can go and have a coffee or a meal. Even something like a men's indoor cave, which could include a space for watching sport, playing darts and having a beer. Men like to congregate. They love to watch the AFL or the cricket. So, where within your facility do you have something that could allow for men to be able to congregate? And lastly, number 8 is work. We spend so many years of our life working, and even retirement now, for a lot of people, there is no such thing as retirement. They still want to continue on and work. And I know that certainly will be the case for me. So examples which reflect parts of our former work life could be computer or administration tasks, men's sheds, certainly for tradies, and it could be them talking to somebody about the different tools and what they used to do when they actually, made things, assisting staff, helping in the library or the cafe. So these life elements will change and morph as the generations of people living in aged care change. In other words, they're not set in stone and they are very, very dynamic. Now, if these life elements are identified at the start of a project, it means that the spaces can be designed to incorporate areas to allow for all of the 8 life elements, and there may be others that you think of as well that are important to incorporate. Even existing facilities can be changed to suit, and it doesn't have to cost a lot. So whatever you choose to do, the key is to make sure it reflects a normal environment. Whilst activity rooms are a great idea, you don't normally have one in your home. So how can these life elements be reflected throughout where they live? A backyard, for instance, will allow for gardening, sports, and even family gatherings. An open kitchen allows residents to make a cup of tea or be involved in the cooking. So how can you design the environment so it doesn't become a particular activity, but becomes a way of life? Now, I'm not saying that activity rooms are not useful. Of course they are, and they're a great place for people to go for a particular activity. But what I'm talking about is just basically doing the normal things that we all do in our own homes. Now, Ransom Briggs said, "I used to dream about escaping my ordinary life, but my life was never ordinary. I had simply failed to notice how extraordinary it was. Likewise, I never imagined that home might be something I would miss." So in finishing up on my segment of how do you design environments that stimulate engagement, I would just like to say that as designers and architects, we don't have to design a piece of art, but we must design a place that people can live in, a place that is comfortable and allows them to experience a bit of home. Now, next month, I will be interviewing the wonderful Kirsty Bennett, who is one of the authors of the World Alzheimer Report, Design, Dignity, Dementia, Dementia-Related Design and the Built Environment. In fact, they just won a global award for outstanding contribution to global knowledge. So watch out for that segment. I know is going to be absolutely amazing to be having a talk with Kirsty. Also, please don't forget to send in anything you would particularly like to hear about or know more about, and I would be happy to find out the latest information for you. So it was a great pleasure to speak with you all today, and please send through any feedback. It would be really, really appreciated. So have a great month, and bye for now.